Welcome to Marriage Monday with Jeremiah and Savannah Jennings. The Jennings own Growing Green Landscapes and are very happily married. In this podcast, Jeremiah and Savannah discuss the wins, losses, good times, bad times, and everything in between pertaining to owning a business while maintaining a healthy marriage along the way. We hope you enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green Podcast. Welcome into 2023 and welcome into another Marriage Monday. This is going to be an awesome show. We did a show last week, but I was solo. I'm honored and blessed to have my beautiful co-host back this week. Savannah's here to join us because she finally has her voice back. So are you feeling any better this week?
Much better. Much better.
Well, last week's show, I came on here and ran a solo show on Monday because literally Savannah could not talk. You were gone, had nothing.
We kind of pushed it because we were hopeful that I would get my voice back, and then weekend came around, and we were like, I'm nowhere near being able to speak. So.
Yeah, we can just talk about it on air, I guess. I mean, Savannah was salty I did that show last week because it was a show that we had planned out, but Savannah had no voice. We were just banking. I was banking on her voice getting better, and by Sunday night, it was not better. And so I was like, well, we got to do it. And
so he just took part of my idea and ran with it himself.
If you can't hear the salt in Savannah's voice, it is definitely there.
No, it's fine.
It's definitely there, but we're working through it. It's real life stuff. This is why you listen to Marriage Monday, to listen to the Jennings real life, real time struggles. These are the ones. This is the show that Brian Fullerton always makes fun of us for.
Yeah,
he'll send us.
Which is exactly why I said we can't do this again.
He'll send us this in our group chat tomorrow and be like, "This show was so bad in the beginning." He'll be like, "This is so cringy."
Yeah, exactly why I was like, we have to have a plan because nobody wants to hear this.
Well, you know what? I love listening to shows where you just banter back and forth. That's some of the best stuff for me. It's the real life stuff, and that's what we've kind of branded ourselves as anyway. Is
oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's
real life.
Embarrassing.
No, it's not. Not the real life struggles. I mean, it's just real life, man.
Well, yeah, I guess
everybody has to relate to that. We can't all be perfect. We can't all be polished. We can't all be the almonds and have everything together.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in because it really does mean a lot to us. Why don't you tell me this? Well, we kind of did our 2022. What is the biggest thing you're thankful for this show in 2022? Put you on the spot.
Wait, what?
So we did our 2022 roundup or whatever of what we did for the year.
Yeah.
But we never did a closeout show. So and you weren't on last week to talk about any of this year's stuff. So before we move on to this year's stuff, what are you thankful for the show? How did it help you or help our marriage in this past year?
Okay. I think it's allowed me to meet a lot more people.
Yeah, it's brought
just
you in.
Just doing interviews and stuff. I feel like it's helped me to meet more. Why are you laughing? He's laughing. No. What is it?
No, it's good.
No,
it's good.
No.
No, I agree. I agree.
No,
it's a really good answer.
No.
I'm laughing about something totally different. I'm talking about something totally different.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. We'll talk about it later. Continue. People are already clicking off the show. They're clicking off the show every second we do this.
And I'm
it's gotten you to meet more people.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the amount of times that it has caused us to have more real, deeper conversations that we probably wouldn't have had.
Yeah, that's huge. We've been brought together a lot closer, I think, because of it. Because coming up with a show about marriage every single week is this is kind of tough. You start running into stuff.
Yeah, because all you want to ever talk about is communication. So
hey, wait, everybody else talks about it. Literally, any other person you listen to, they're going to say communication.
Well, you can't talk about that every freaking week.
Well, it's obviously important enough. Everybody else does.
Right, that you try to.
Anyway, so that's cool. That's for you. It's getting to meet new people. For me, it is relationships as well. That was a big year for us, 2022. But anyway, we're into 2023 now, and I talked about our goals last week. We're not going to do that same show over again. So if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. Though I got to discuss everything that we had planned for the year, the Jennings family goals, I guess you could say, the things we wanted to share publicly. But for this week, we wanted to just hit on a few things from that. I want to just have me and Savannah talk back and forth about a few things and get her input on some stuff. And then I want to talk about really our biggest thing for this year, our plan moving forward for the business model that we're trying to build. So the business model that we're trying to build in 2023 is I want to scale the business a little bit larger. And what does that mean? I don't really know, honestly, for sure yet. I'm still in the planning stages, the building block stages of trying to figure out what does it look like. For me right now, like I said, if you've listened to the last couple of weeks, then Bailey has come on and joined us. He's been a great addition to our company. We're keeping him on full time through the winter. He's been able to do a lot of great things to allow me to not be in the field every single day. Well, in that, it's kind of been like, well, okay, I want our family to be able to do more things with Jack here now. I want us to be able to go and do more. And so I want to build a company that can operate without me there, which I think is a lot of business owners' goals, for them to be able to make money and generate revenue without you having to be there every single day. So for me, that's what we're looking at. I'm trying to grow the business, and we're trying to add more people along with us to help. So Bailey's had come on, been a huge addition. But we're trying to scale, and with scaling, we don't even know really what's going to come. It's just going to be tough. I know people that have scaled their companies. They said it's tough along the way. And by scale, I don't mean turn it into the next Perfect Cut or something like that. I'm not trying to do that this year. But this year, I've set a pretty lofty goal. I want to almost double my revenue for the business. In the budget we created, we want to almost double our revenue from this past season. And me and Savannah have talked about this, and we want Savannah to be able to not work anymore. That's something we can talk about. Like
eventually. Yeah,
I mean, end of 2023. Like that's we 2024. We don't want you to be working. We've talked about that.
We don't want me to have to work.
Yes, correct. Like we want you.
And I don't know.
More and more every day. You guys out there who have spouses that work and understand this and know this, but like it just the schedule. Like if you're an entrepreneur, you're gonna relate with me.
Okay, here's where this stems. So we're trying to go on a trip, and Jeremiah's annoyed because I have to answer.
It's multiple trips. It happens all the time. You have to answer to somebody and like.
And we were trying to make all these plans, but I was the one that held everything up because I had to hear
now
from
you're taking it there.
Okay, well that's what you said.
Well, it's not you. I don't mean you. I'm saying the employer's retarded for the way that they.
Okay. It does. I self-schedule, so
yeah, I know you have it kind of good, but
yeah.
Anyway, I just don't like having to have you answer anybody. I want us to be able to go do art. That's the kind of family we want to build, and I know that's a lot of people out there listening is they want to have the freedom to go do what they want to do. That's the purpose of having a business, and so 2023 we'd like to have you not working by the end of it. Hopefully, not having to work, and so could you not work right now? Probably. We wouldn't be able to live the same lifestyle that we live. We'd have to adjust a few things. So for the time being. We have our parents watch Jack 2 days a week when Savannah works, so it's a good setup for the grandparents to get to see him, and you get to get some time away and go to work and just enjoy your friends there and do what you're good at. So that's what you went to school for.
And I love my job.
Yeah, and you like it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want us to have the freedom to do what we want when we want because that's the business that we're building. So in that process of scaling, there's going to be a lot of tough things along the way, and some of the things that I already know are going to be tough is like it's going to cause a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, a lot of hours are going to be put into it.
It's going to be time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
A lot of time. And so we're taking it kind of easy, not taking it easy right now, but like I'm working more now than I have in the past 3 years in the winter. Like we're working 2 to 3 days a week most of the time right now, whereas before I was working maybe 1 or 2. So we were just kind of coasting through the winter. This year we're trying to keep revenue generating, keep on pushing through. We don't do snow here, so that kind of slows it. Like we don't get to generate as much revenue, but we can also do some landscape stuff that guys up north can't do. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to do that, but it's going to take a lot of time, especially when spring gets here. And so we were sitting here talking, and we haven't really even talked about this that much. It's just, are we both on the same page? I think that's something that we have to discuss. And for anybody else out there is like, are you on the same page of what we want here and what the end goal is?
Yeah. And I do think it is a little harder because this is Jack's first year, and I think that kind of throws a little wrench in things because as much as I'm on the same page as you and I agree and it's means to an end, it still makes it harder to say yes, we're doing this, putting way more time in the company when he is growing up literally right before our eyes. So I think that's going to be kind of hard.
It is hard, but I think the way we're going to have to look at it is that is very true, but we're also doing it so, when we have a second kid or a third kid and Jack is playing T-ball, then I'm not missing T-ball games trying to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a little bit devil's advocate here because I'm a very sentimental person, so I totally agree with that.
And I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, but, we'll never, ever get this time back with Jack and him being our only one. Hopefully, hopefully we'll have more kids in the future, but we'll never get this time back as him being our only child and him being this young and getting all of our attention. So it's a balance, I want you to scale and we want to grow and all these things, but you gotta do it right.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy by any means. I have some friends and mentors that I already know that I'm going to turn to and look towards for advice through this process. And so my goal is to get it to where we can, and when I say scale, some of you listeners are going to be like, dude, that's not scaling. For me, it'll be scaling for this year, though. Like I said, close to double my revenue, add hopefully 3 to 4 guys by the end of the season, have full-time 3 to 4 guys. And so it's a big goal. I mean, you're adding a lot of stress to my plate. A lot of things have to happen to make that happen. We got to bring in 3 new guys. That has to be something. Systems and operations are something that's going to have to be key. It's going to have to be crucial. We're going to have to get things in place. And also, I think we're going to have to do that in our family as well. Like, we're going to have to build habits. We're going to have to build things that we do that don't vary.
Yeah, and it's just I feel like just gonna be a year for us. It's more about being like disciplined than motivated, because we're gonna set these goals, and you hear people say like motivation comes and goes, but if you're disciplined, like I don't know what I'm saying, but you have to be disciplined. You don't always have to be motivated.
Yeah.
And there are gonna be times when it's 10 o'clock and it's been a long day and I'm ready to hang out with you, and, you're tired too, and you're not really motivated to come in here and get things done, but you have to be disciplined and get the things done that you need to get done so that you don't get behind. Things like that. So I think that's what this year is going to look like a lot for us, just staying disciplined, not necessarily motivated, because it's easy to be motivated in January. Everybody's motivated in January. That's why the gyms are full. That's why everybody's buying their, I don't know, but
workout stuff. Yeah,
because everybody's motivated right now because it's a new year, but come back in June, July, August. Where is everybody? Who's stuck with it? So I think a lot of it is just getting those systems and things put in place to help you stay disciplined when you're not motivated.
So we talk systems, operations, procedures in your business, but let's talk family. Like this, let's talk about that for a little bit. What do we need to do this year? And some things that maybe you listening in can do, even if you're not scaling your business, just things that you can do in the off season, put in place, and like have these conversations with your spouse and your kids and say, look, these times of the year we're going to go really hard, but then we're going to take time off. We're going to do this and that. Or and not even go on trips or do this and that and the other, but just little things every single week. Like say one night a week we're going to sit down and have family dinner together or something. I think
one thing that we talked about to be intentional about it is one night a week we were going to sit down and go over like our expenses for the past week, because we're gonna really hone in on our budget this year, like as a family. And I think one way to do that is to sit down every week and go over what we spent that week and make sure that we're on track.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What's so funny?
The dogs are in here.
The dogs are gnawing on their bones. The dog farted.
I was really trying not.
The dog farted. He's chewing on his bone. I guess he got too excited, but he got relaxed. Oh my goodness! The dogs don't normally sit in here. They normally sit out in the hallway, but they decided to join us today.
That was a good thought, and I just ruined it. Sorry.
Oh man, this is what we're known for right here.
We were talking about weekly.
Sit down
check-ins.
And covering the budget.
Yes, and then
monthly.
Monthly too, but I guess
definitely
monthly.
Weekly.
I think
monthly's what we shot for.
But I think
we shoot for weekly.
No. We're gonna do weekly like budget check-ins.
Yeah.
But we were gonna do monthly date nights.
Yes.
Without Jack.
Yes.
No business. Like not talking about anything like that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of into the next point, like how we're gonna try and do this. And have a healthy marriage.
Yeah.
To be totally real, I think we've touched on this before about how one time at Taylor and the Trades, they were talking about like 15 hours a week or something is what we were supposed to get. And like, I don't know who that's realistic for, but props to you if it is, because it's just not for us. So we're going to realistically shoot for one date night a month without Jack. Now, we'll obviously spend time together and do dinner and stuff with him. Yeah. But for us, we're going to shoot for one night a month without him. No business, just us.
And these are things that, like I said, like whether you're scaling or not, they're things that you need to be implementing just to make it through the year, just to have a successful year, because they're principles that are guiding principles that you look at any successful couple relationship. And this is so tough. Like you can look at so many successful people in life And a lot of them aren't married. Like a lot of successful business people aren't married. They get divorced. They build. You look at most people that scale companies. They get divorced along the way. They don't ever finish their business with the same spouse they started it with.
Or they were able to start by themselves, and then somewhere along
build
the way
it and then get married. Yeah. So like it's a tough thing, and it's not going to be easy. And things that we've learned from other friends that we have in the industry and just people that we look up to. It's like, man, I know the years that y'all went through of like, it was tough for y'all. It was very hard years in your marriage. It was very hard on your business. And so what we're trying to do is build that foundation now and like not have those bad years per se. Like we're having tough times. We have tough everyday problems, but we don't want to look at the end of the year and be like, man, that was a tough year for us.
Yeah.
But and these are things it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
to some point it's inevitable that like you're going to go through times in your marriage that aren't as great as other times.
Yeah.
But
if you have these things in place,
the best of the worst, and like trying to make it as good as you can.
Yeah. If you have these things in place,
like I don't know. This sounds horrible, but like we're walking into this year knowing that it's gonna kind of somewhat be like put your head down and just do it.
Yeah.
You know, like we're gonna try and enjoy it as much as we can. We have some things planned, but at the same time, we both have an understanding of like, hey, it's going to take saying no or really focusing on what we're doing to accomplish what we want to, and that's okay.
Yeah.
If
you've heard the same.
And I think that helps you enjoy it more. Like if you're both on the same page about it and you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it and you're able to help motivate each other, it's not as bad.
We were that is the most important thing. I think if you take anything out of this podcast, this is what you need to take out of the next 2 to 3 minutes here. Well, guys, thanks for tuning into the show today, and I'm so excited to be bringing to you a new live event in our industry. It's called Synced Live. It's the second annual event, and it's going to be on February the 6th and the 7th of 2023 at the Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, Georgia. Some of the leaders that are going to be speaking at this event from our industry are Jim McCutcheon, Deborah Cole, Mike Haynes, Jay Worth, Joe Langton, and many more. There's literally probably 10 more on this list that I'm not even reading, so there's going to be a ton of value packed from speakers there. There's also going to be education topics going on in and around the booth at the event. They're going to be talking about recruiting and retaining employees, innovation, automation, and the ROI of automation. There's going to be tons of stuff on that. There's also going to be 70-plus vendors. Now, you don't want to go to a trade show and not see vendors. So, like we said, 70-plus vendors. There's going to be vendors pertaining to porcelain paving, natural stone paving, walling systems, smart measurement, robotic mowers, tech, software, everything in between. It's going to be full of value and full of great vendors and exhibits that we get to go look at and try things out for our business and see how we can make our businesses better in the future. So, like I said, it's our second annual event, Synced Live, February 6th and 7th in Atlanta, Georgia. The 6th is a half a day of the show. The full day is on the 7th, on Tuesday. I can't wait to be a part of this. I can't wait to show up and be there and network, hang out with all of you guys. This is my first year going. If you've never gone, if you didn't go last year, make it out this year, Atlanta, Georgia. It's well worth your ticket price just for the education alone, not even to mention all the vendors and things you're going to get to see and the networking you're going to get to do. So come out and see us in Atlanta on February the 6th and the 7th at Synced Live, Cobb Galleria. We can't wait to see you there. Now let's get back to the show. Is the most important thing is you have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And not just communication, I know that's cheesy. You both need to say, I know what we're getting into. And I know and we're signing up for this because the conversation that I think back on, and I know that you'll trigger and you'll remember this as soon as I talk about it. We were having the conversation sitting at Brian and Liz's house, and we said, how did you do it when times were tough?
Yeah.
When you were up late nights. And
well, we were mainly talking about like having a baby.
Yeah.
That's really what flipped it for us. It's like, whoa, this is a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, how did you do it? And they both just looked at us and said, we're both on the same page.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it was a non-negotiable.
We both understood content had to go out.
Yeah.
Yards had to be mowed. Mulch had to be slung. Like, all of that stuff had to happen.
Right.
And that's not something that you need to take lightly. That's something that we have, like, me and you sitting here together talking on this show have to say, we're in it. Like, this is it. And for any of you out there, like, again, it doesn't matter if you're scaling your company or if you're trying to maintain your company or if you're just starting your company. Mm-hmm. You have to look at your other one and say, are we on this? And it's not even, I don't even know that you should just say, are we on the same page? It's, you should have a a legitimate conversation and be like, like have
this
a discussion.
You
need to lay everything out and say, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, because it's easy to say, like, are we on the same page? And you're like, oh yeah, I want you to grow. But then like, no, have you sat down together and say, okay, well, this is what it's going to take. Like, are we still in this? Like, are you still okay with this? Whatever.
Because if you don't, the other one's going to resent you and the business.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be honest about it too. Like, don't just sugarcoat it and say, oh, we're going to grow and make this much and do this. And these are the fun things we're going to accomplish. And like, that's amazing. And like, you should, but what's it going to take to get there? You need to be open about that too and understand what you're walking into.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's all, that is real life stuff. Like, that is stuff that I look and think about every single day. Like, anytime something new comes up, anytime new job opportunity or a big bid comes in, I'm like, okay, does Savannah know this? Like, are we on the same page at the end of the day?
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and I think another thing that goes along with being on the same page is just, I think it's important to not, like, and this might be a little more like personal goals, but not like hindering that. You know, if we both said we're in this, then not only am I not going to hinder you, but I'm going to help you accomplish it. Like doing what I can to help you. And the one thing, like small thing that I think about is one of our personal goals. I don't even know if you talked about this last week, was being in the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
And with a baby, that means like we don't get to go together. Like, and not that that's like a big deal, but that's, 2 hours out of our day that we're not spending with each other, that we're also not working.
Yeah.
So that's some sacrifice. That means I'm either getting up early and you're staying home, or you're going and I'm staying home with Jack tonight.
At night, yeah.
Like fighting that work, and not, because I can be bad, I don't know how to say this. Like, I don't want to make you feel, I shouldn't make you feel guilty for wanting to go do that if you could be home with us.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't make you feel bad for coming in here and working when you could be out there playing with him on the floor. Like, it's things like that
will kill you.
Yeah.
That will kill your marriage first, and then it'll kill your business.
Yeah.
Because the marriage is going to fail, and then you're just going to try to do it on your own. You're not going to be able to. Like, it's going to mess you up. That takes me back to a video I was just watching, literally, it was either this morning or last night, and it was the top 4 reasons, top 5 reasons a business will fail. Mm-hmm. That was one of them. Was you marry someone who's not on the same page, who doesn't support you, who makes you feel guilty. That's the exact words.
It's just so easy for us though to sit here and talk about it in the office on a Sunday afternoon.
But we have to implement it.
But it's hard. Like you have to do it. It's easier said than done. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's essential. Everyone
knows we're open and honest here on the show. Like we're pretty open books about everything. It's been something that we've had to work on.
Yeah, us sitting here talking about it is because that's something that we've struggled with. It has been very hard for me, especially since having Jack, to be cool with all the hours that go into this.
Yeah.
It's just an adjustment. And I want to get better about it. That's why we're sitting here talking about it. It's because I am on the same page. Like, I do support that, and I do want you to scale and for us to accomplish these things. And I understand what it takes. So this is what we're going to do, even when it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, we got really deep there, but it's so true. Like, nothing's going to happen. You will split so fast you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
If you stay.
And I think what is the worst thing about it is I don't want to look back in 10, 15 years and think that, or know that I'm the reason that you weren't successful, that I held you back. And that would kill me, like as a spouse, like, don't be the reason that your spouse can't succeed because you're constantly nagging at them or holding them back or making them feel guilty for wanting to do things at the end of the day is just to better your family. Like that's all you're out there trying to do. And I'm holding you back from success that would help our family. Like, what is that? That's so wrong.
Yeah. You figure out this key and you turn it and you turn the right switch, then your marriage and your business will change 100%.
Yeah.
If you both can sit down and have this and meet these realizations of this is what has to happen and we both agree. Go back and listen to a couple episodes ago on Marriage Monday. Our interview with Kim and Paul Capote, literally the title of the show is Don't Be the Cause of Your Spouse's Stress.
Yeah.
And this is it. Like, this is prime example. You know how stressed out your husband or your wife will be if they're trying to build a business, but they don't get support from you at the house?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they still got to get the things done that they have to do, but they also have to deal with you.
Yeah.
being upset with them
And then you
or
add
not
kids into the
supporting
mix.
them. Yeah.
And then you have kids to worry about.
Yeah.
And it's like, these are all real life things that everyone goes through. And you have to talk about it. It needs to be talked about. It's not talked about enough. That's the thing, is like,
Yeah.
why is this not something that is on the front page of everybody's social media? Like, how are we bettering ourselves? Because if we don't, and this goes hand in hand with it, not only do you need to not make your spouse feel guilty about building the business, but you don't need to make, like, if I'm the business owner, I don't need to make Savannah feel bad about bettering herself. Like, if she's not involved in the business, then things you want to go do, I shouldn't make you feel guilty for going and doing those.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've also kind of been like talking through, working on is you can't, just because your spouse isn't involved in the business, okay, they're not I don't know what I'm saying. Like, they're not helping the business become more successful.
Yeah, they're not.
That doesn't mean that their goals and their interests and their desire, like their things aren't as important. You know, just because it's not for the company or not for the business or whatever, that doesn't mean that they get put on the back burner.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was something really hard to realize and like really talk about, is because it's easy. Yeah, like, yes, we're on the same page. We have the same goals, but there are things that I want to do and that I'd like to accomplish that are outside of that. And just because I want to do something that's not involved in the business shouldn't mean that I get shoved to the back. And I'm not saying that I have been. I'm just saying, like, you need to think about that for your spouse. You know, like, yes, the company you're scaling or whatever it is, y'all decided is your number one goal together is important. The other things that they'd like to accomplish matter too.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't feel guilty or feel like they're being neglected because all the time and all the energy you're being put into that.
Yeah, I think have you heard the phrase, your attitude determines your altitude?
Yeah, I guess.
A lot of pastors use that. You have a good attitude, you're going to raise to a really high altitude. If you have a bad attitude, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
I think you can take that and turn that into this conversation of, like, you can't just say, yeah, I'm on board. And I know this is kind of what we talked about, but you can't just say, yeah, we're here, we're on the same page. And even if you go through the conversation, and even if, like, you truly are on board, but when the tough times happen, you have to look at your attitude.
Yeah.
Because if you have a bad attitude, that right there, you're hindering. You are throwing a wrench in a marriage and a conversation that is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be easy. Like, we're all human. I understand that.
Yeah, you're not always going to be super excited about everything and in the best mood, but
you have to put that aside.
Yeah.
You have to put your issues aside and make your spouse the better person. Like, you have to build your spouse up.
Yeah.
And when you do that, they're going to do it in return.
Exactly. That's literally what I was getting ready to say. You find that when you're doing that,
it's like that book we did, the Bible study. Somebody's got to be the first one.
Yeah, yeah. And then it just becomes a cycle in the good way.
Yeah.
And that doing that for each other makes you want to do that for the other.
Literally, it's like, it sounds groundbreaking, but it's really not.
It's not. If you're both doing it's not that hard.
If we quit this we quit this conversation and the rest of our day-to-day, one of us does one thing that builds the other one up, then you're going to do it back.
Yeah.
And like tomorrow, if we do the same thing, like, that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
Your whole marriage, your whole life can be changed.
Yeah.
When you decide to be the first person.
Yeah. You kind of just have to, and you're not, it's probably, if you're the first one, it's not going to come naturally.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to do it, but you're going to have to make a habit of it. And then it just becomes part of it.
Yeah. You're going to have to build habits. You're going to have to build routines. And when I say routines, not something that get lackadaisical in. It's not something that, like, if we say, oh, we're doing one date night a month, we don't just say we do our one date night a month and talk business the whole time. Or, like, yeah, we're good. Like, we don't want to be any better than.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for. The whole reason we're doing it is to better ourselves, have deep conversations, have conversations that will help us grow and change our futures and our lives in the business's life in months to come.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to add to that? Anything?
No.
That was good. That was really good. I thought that was something that it was on my heart. I'm glad we got to talk about it because I know someone else out there listening has to resonate with that. Like, they have to. Like, it's just that simple. Like, you have to. If you're building a business together, if you're trying to build a life, build a family, these things are crucial.
Yeah.
They're crucial. And the sad thing is, a lot of your friends aren't going to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Is like, you need to get. We did a show a long time ago. It was back in the summer, probably. Of you need to be around the right people.
Like-minded friends.
You have to be around like-minded friends.
Yeah.
that's something I almost want to do a whole nother show on it because it's like so important, especially when you have conversations like this. Like 80, not that our friends are bad. I love our friends. If any of our friends listen to this show, they would agree. I mean, they would understand. I wouldn't mind saying this. We are doing something different than they are. It's not that we're doing anything better than they are. We're doing something different. We're doing something different than they are. And so you're called to act differently, I guess you could say. Like, we need to act differently around each other. We need to be around people who are acting the same as us as far as investing time into our companies, into our business, but then also not foregoing our marriage either.
Yeah, you have to be a lot more intentional, I feel like, sometimes.
Because it's harder for us. Like a lot of guys, if you're just two spouses and go to work your 8 to 5 every day, you come home and you have your evenings together every single evening,
and you have nothing else to do,
like other than hang out with friends or something. Like,
that's amazing.
That's awesome. Like, you should have a really healthy marriage, I feel like. But you throw a wrench in things when you say, "Hey, let's be a business owner. Let's own a business together."
Yeah, it's just different.
We talked about that the other day. We were like, "What do you do when you
I know.
just come home?"
I know. Well, I think
that blows my mind.
You were hanging out with some people and they were like talking about something, and you were like, "Yeah, I wish I had time to even like."
Yeah, I don't have time to talk about that.
Yeah, to like even talk about.
Literally.
And I was like, well, I guess when you come home from work and like you're able to clock out and hang out at home, what else do you have to do? You know? So it's just different.
You can hear a lot. You can tell a lot about people in conversation about what their priorities are. And so if you are a business owner, if you're trying to better your marriage, then let that show. Let that show in your conversation. Let that show in your conversation with your spouse. If you're trying to better your marriage, then you should be talking like you are. You should be speaking to your spouse like you are. That's something that's a good show we should do. We should talk about that in the next couple of weeks, is speaking to your spouse correctly, because that's something that is very, very, I'm bad at. I inherited that from my dad, and he's just a very rough guy. He's super, he loves my mom more than anything, but he has a rough tone, and that's just the way that I come across. Like, I don't mean anything bad by it, but it's just the way I come across. So mark that down.
Okay.
Anyway, are you ready to be done?
No, I was just...
Tell me to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, I think that is actually going to wrap this one up. We had a good show. I think that we brought some good value. If we did, leave us a 5-star rating and review. We haven't had any ratings and reviews in 2023 yet, so I would like to get to 100 here pretty soon. Like, we're at 59. Let's get to 60 with this show. Hopefully we can get to 100 here pretty soon. If you look at a podcast and has 100 reviews on it, you're going to probably listen in. Like, that's something that makes you think, well, 100 people actually took the time to review this, so it's probably a pretty good show. So if you actually think it's a pretty good show, you're listening. If you're just bored to death and you're listening, well, that's different.
If you don't like listening to us go back and forth, then maybe not. But.
Yeah. But if you think it's a good show and you do enjoy it, which a lot of you are listening in and doing it, then just drop a rating real quick. Drop a review. Let other people know, because we want to grow the show. We want to continue to grow our community so we can continue to grow at one relationship at a time, because that's what we're in it for, is building relationships, building networks, and building our futures here. So with that being said, signing off from our second Marriage Monday of 2023. It's been a great...
First one with me.
First one with you. It's been a great week. Savannah's not salty about last week's episode at all, but no, we've resolved that, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had this before. Anyway.
Sure.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode.